this is Retired Geek Woman with Skyrim SE Retired Slow Play Part 21. We are going to take up where we left off last time. We were in Windhelm and we were going to head off to try and find we're trying to kill everyone in the sanctuary. That's to destroy the Dark Brotherhood. And the location that we're going to goes right by our house, so we are going to go by there and do some construction work on our house along the way before we get off battling some nasty Dark Brotherhood people that we're going to take care of. I know a lot of people play the Dark Brotherhood. They like playing that dark side, that the thieves and the, all that quest line. I have never played that quest line at all. I don't ever plan to. I take a lot of enjoyment out of destroying the Dark Brotherhood. Astrid tried to have me killed, and they are not a nice group of people. They're assassins. And so I don't know if they only kill good people. I don't know what their deal is. I just don't like them. So we're going to go destroy the Dark Brotherhood. Today is the day. So as you can see there, I have a follower, Serena. She's the vampire chick that I felt had nowhere to be. Her father was a really horrible person. Her mother hid her away for hundreds of years in a monolith and a ruin, and so she just had nowhere to be, and I just felt that I needed her to be with me, and she's a wonderful companion. At least she has been so far for me. So I'm very excited about where we're at. I had picked up a bunch of quests in Whiterun and plan to get quite a few more. I'm kind of at this point I'm kind of anxious to work on my house a little bit. Obviously we're going to take care of the sanctuary, or I'm sorry, the Dark Brotherhood sanctuary, but I'm so close in this area, and I have a vision in my mind on what I want to do next to my house, which to me is an important part of the game. It's part of the Hearthfire DLC that if you have numerous different editions that you can have of Skyrim, this is the special edition. You can have that, or you can download it separately to add it to whatever version you have if you don't have it. And I just enjoy it. It's building my place in this world that I got dropped into. And so when I get an opportunity to run by there and do a little work on the house, then I will, especially if I know I have stuff that will help me further the progress a little bit. For those who are not interested in the house building aspect of Skyrim, I'm trying to put pretty clear chapter markings so you can skip past any of the building that I happen to be doing at the time, given time. And so, sorry, I made a total mistake right there. I was trying to buy, stuff there, and so I actually accidentally clicked on can I use your forge, and it starts this whole tutorial on how to use the forge and the anvil and the grinding stone and create one weapon and a piece of armor. So I guess if you want to know how to do that, here you go. It's a tutorial, and it was a mistake. I don't plan on making my own armor. I end up with some pretty decent armor. I've got decent armor right now with the Archmage robe, but I'll get some better armor here soon, and don't plan on doing very much smithing and making of my own stuff. Hey, I got Balliman, right? So it was just a mistake click on my part. I think it was a mistake on my part. I know that a lot of times I'll click and it chooses different things than I intended for it to choose. Very frustrating. So in the meantime, we're learning how to make a couple of things. We made a little dagger there, and he says now we're going to make a helmet. We got pieces of leather, and it shows us really what to do, how to tan leather into leather strips. And then as you can see, the tutorial is really straightforward. It tells you what to do each step of the way, so you kind of have a handle. And I plan on having all these things available at my house in case I decide to try it myself and build things myself. But anyway, this was a complete mistake. I didn't mean to do that. I was just trying to sell some armor or whatever. So it's like, okay, one more thing here. We have to take the I made a mistake there. I was like, that's not what he told me to do, and I was supposed to be using the anvil, I think. Yeah, the forge is the anvil, and create something, a hide helmet with the leather that we had the leather and the leather strips. So I guess you could have leather and leather strips for helmet. I don't know, since I've never done this. So I was like, okay, here's your hide helmet. So, oh, and it tells you how to improve the hide helmet.
Someday, I'm going to forge my own sword.
So we'll get to the end here and be able to finish on with what we were doing. And I don't remember what I was talking about before I realized I'd made a mistake. So anyway, we got a free tutorial due to my mistake. So this little girl's totally in the way. Get out of my way. And if you might recall, this is the first town that you come to if you follow Ralof out of Helgen at the very beginning of the game. So, I don't know if the other blacksmiths would have had a tutorial like that. Maybe so. Maybe because a lot of people don't follow along, which would have been logical to follow someone. And if you follow someone else, you're going to go somewhere else. So, I don't know. I tend to, I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I tend to follow the same pattern each time I start. So I finally get to what I was trying to do, which is to sell the items that I had on me. And I decided to go ahead and sell the things I just made because I'm not going to use them. I might use the leather or the leather strips, but I didn't need the weapon that I created or the helm that I made, so I sold him back. He gave us the stuff for free, and we made a few pieces of gold out of it anyway. And I don't have a whole lot of stuff to sell. This Riverwood trader, I think he buys more things than just weapons and armor, so we may be able to get rid of a few things here. And I think I had a staff of zombies for sure. I'll never use that. So as you can see, I have two destruction weapons in my staves there, and so that's what I use mostly for when I don't use my magery. Those are the staves that I'm using. And I will continue to keep an eye out for any good swords and I'm going to go ahead and try some experiments. If I get some good daggers, which I sold this one, that was so stupid. If I get some daggers, a good dagger, a good bow, I'm going to give it to Serena and see what she chooses to use out of the things that I give her. Like I stopped in a really bad spot right there. She has a little bit of trouble getting on her horse. So I'm going to see what she chooses to use. So, because the followers choose their own weapons. Right now, I've got a magical sword that I gave her. I don't know, it's cold. It has cold damage of some kind. So I'm going to keep an eye out for a much better one. I had a much better one, and I stupidly sold it. So I'm going to keep an eye out for anything that we come across that's to be able to give her and let her give it a try. When we first pick her up, all she has is a plain old dagger. So we want to make sure that we're giving her her best weapon. And I believe she's got good armor. I don't know if she has other armor. We find an awful lot of vampire armor along our journeys. We may end up seeing if she will choose to wear something else. I don't know. We'll find out. I want to make sure she has the best opportunity to stay alive. I mean, vampires apparently are not invulnerable. They can be damaged. I don't know. Maybe she can even be killed. I don't know. I don't believe that's ever happened that I've noticed. But we don't want her to get hurt at all. She's our follower, and she helps us out a lot. She's a good fighter. Her magic skills are just amazing. Total side note, we have a complete storm where I'm at coming in right now, and I could not record during a storm, or I could, try to get the sound out, and instead it's like, ooh, that's great ambiance to have a storm in the background, so you can hear some thunder and lightning and maybe some rain in the background. I don't know how good my microphone is as far as how much it will pick up. So we arrive at Lakeview Manor, and like I mentioned before, I'm always trying to make sure that I'm putting my horse in a relative safe spot, and I don't know where that is. I think you can build a stable, but your horse doesn't go in it unless you put him in it, and I don't know if that's going to keep him safe. And the reason why I say that is sometimes we get wolves, we get thieves, and the occasional giant that will show up at this house. So, okay, here I decide that I'm going to change what I have originally planned for my house. Once you pick a wing, you decide on a wing that you want to work on, then you only can work on that one wing and build each one. So what I'm doing here, this book that was laying there, it shows you the basic diagrams. It says, okay, here's what the bedroom's wing will look like and where it can go. It only can be on the west side. Then you have 3 options for the west side of your house, and it shows you where it's at. And so each of the diagrams on each page. So this is the greenhouse on the west wing, and I think there's one more option, the enchanter's tower on the west wing. Here's the north wing as a storage room. Here's the north wing trophy room, and the north wing alchemy laboratory, east wing armory, east wing kitchen, and east wing library. So that's all the options that you have for each of the 3 sides of your house. So once I went back to that and refreshed my memory, then I went back to the drafting table and decided which I was going to be working on, which side and which room. And I chose greenhouse, and kind of remember that. We're going to come back to this at a later time. So when you go into that, you can see now I have greenhouse. I have to have iron fittings, lock and hinges, and nails, which I don't have on me. And so this is where I've been keeping all my stuff that I construct with. What I decided to do right then was to pick everything up out of that chest. And Serena, she just does random things, so she was using the anvil, so I chose to talk to her so she would get out of my way. So I've got 24 iron ingots, but I also have all those corundum ingots, so now I can make some locks. You need locks mostly to make doors on the rooms that you're going to make. You also need it for safes. I'm going to have a number of safes in the house by the time it's finished. So those are the things that I need those conundrum or ingots for, and why I purchased them. I don't seem to come across a whole lot of that ore, so I went ahead and bought that. That's an exception to the rule. You have to buy your wood as far as your building, your logs and things. Right there I've got 334. Last time I stopped by, I got a couple hundred extra sent over, and depending upon how much I get built and what's left, then I may order more. So this is how the process goes, and you can see it's all saying greenhouse, meaning that's the room that I had added, and each piece that you need comes up right there as a white. It's grayed out if you don't have the right pieces that you need. So my greenhouse is completely built right now. So I went back over to the drafting table, and let's see, what else am I going to do next? And I love having the trophy room. It creates a really cool room in the house where you can have, for lack of a better word, stuffed creatures. So any there's like a whole list. It depends. There's really large trophy stands. There's medium and small ones, and each one, when you click on it, will give you the options for whatever creature can go there, and it creates this really crazy stuffed creature of whatever one you chose. And that's why I've been saving a few things like saber tooth. I think there's eyes. I still need a few pieces for that because I want to have a saber tooth tiger, whatever they call them, saber tigers or something, as one of my trophies, because those are something that we kill a lot. I hope the kids don't get scared when we eventually get our children, that they don't want to go in the trophy room because it's scary, because you can put some really creepy stuff in there. You can put the things that creep you out the most, or you can put other things. At this point, I need some more quarried stone. I'm down to below what I need. So because there's no monsters and creatures, I'll look at her using the smelter. I decided to come down here and get some more quarried stone. Looks like there's a storm going on in the house in both games, in the world and my game. So you can see I was hoping that since I had given her a pickaxe, that she would help me with the quarried stone thing I'm doing here. And she's not. She's just standing by watching. So I had decided to save you some time there. You didn't have to watch me quarry all that stone. So I sped that up. And I'll try to do that when I can. I mean, if you want to watch it in slow motion, go for it. But I just decided you don't need to stand and watch that for whatever long I did that. So I got plenty of quarry stone, and I'm able to finish building my trophy room. And it looks like I have enough for everything. I had 103 clay now. I have to get some clay soon. So I built everything for the trophy room. And so I have one more addition to build. And so we're going to look here. I think it's the east wing. I'm going to do the kitchen. Yes, I want to do the kitchen on that side. I've had I don't care for the armory. I don't need that. I've had the library before, but really I like the way the kitchen looks. It's very homey looking. You can see here I need 2 more iron fittings, 2 locks, 2 hinges. So I come over here and make those things really quickly. Trying to make sure I make enough, but not too many, because I only can see if my ingots are going down, 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 and I'm almost out. So I'm almost out of what I need to continue building, but at the same time, I'm almost done building what I needed, or what I plan to build for the 3 additions. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other things that need to be built. There's, like I said, there's safes, and those are going to require locks. There's just lots and lots of furniture. And it looks like, oh my goodness, I'm short 2 hinges. So Serena, get out of the way, dear. I need to use the anvil. I wish I had an option to say use. Would you excuse me for a moment? I need to use that.
Let's get indoors.
And look at that, my smithing is at 20. So it's bringing my smithing up using all this stuff, and that's fine. I don't know if I'll ever use it. We'll see. So here I'm putting. See, I had to have a lock for the kitchen doors and quarried stone. I have enough of that. And so right now I need a few more nails, just like 3 more nails, and I think that the kitchen will be done. And we'll go inside and you can see the different rooms and how it all looks. And oh, we did have some more, I guess. And there's the walls. What else? Oh, the roof. We need 1 more nail, and you can only make 10 at a time. Let's see how many ingots we got left. We only have 4 ingots left, 3 after that. So that's all the ingots that we have. And remember, that's the ones I've not purchased iron ingots. So I was able to find enough ore and get enough ingots. Of course, it helped that we, married a blacksmith who had like, I don't know how many ingots he had. And we took the ingots because when you're married, everything belongs to you, right? So thankfully, because of that, I have enough ingots that I could build all the three different additions to my house. So that was a cool thing, and that didn't cost me anything to do that. And so you can see the result of what I did here. And obviously this is going to change. This was currently our house, the little room here in the beginning, but we can take this little room here and turn this into an entryway. And so this is done on, I think it's on the drafting table. So that was your original house when you first start, but you can, now it will become the entryway, and then the big room is your main part of your house. And so that's what we're going to do here. Remodel house into entryway. So it takes that and makes it an entryway now. And it doesn't require anything to do that. And I was just double checking. It's like, nope, I don't need to do anything else. So I'm good for now. We may do some other things. I don't know if I'm going to put a stable. I don't know if I'm going to put a chicken coop or what. I don't know what I'm going to add on the outside. I haven't decided yet. You know, it seems like to me that if I've got chicken coops that they're going to get killed. Now, the bummer part here is it does take away the things that I built in here before, which is so stupid that I did that because I knew I was going to be adding on. What I'm going to do here is put in here anything that is going to be the things that we're going to use for later for the like if I'm going to be doing any enchanting or potion making or whatever, we're putting things like that. Also these children's items that I've been collecting, I go ahead and put them in there because we don't need them yet and I don't want to be carrying them around, and I'm way overweight right now. I thought, well, if I could get rid of enough stuff, then maybe I won't be overweight. So we have a lot of building to do, but that's the main structures that you need. You need the 3 additions on the outside that add on to that main house, which again, now we're in the entryway. The main house, if I was looking up, would be off to the right. So I'm just kind of dumping some of the stuff that I'm not going to be using for now, and just kind of, you know, there's in this chest you can, I don't know if it has unlimited storage capacity or what. I've never seen where there's too much in there. So again, I remembered to put a few rings in there and necklaces, so in case we decide to do some enchanting, which I'm leaning more and more towards just for the fun of it, you know. And I'm still overweight. I can't run, but that's okay. I just kind of wanted to show you what we have here. Each section has its own place that you could build things, and you can see it's showing the different items that I could build right now. And I'm not really interested in anything really except for making sure there's a bed in the house, and that's for not only Balaman to sleep in, which doesn't, you know, frankly, it doesn't matter. He doesn't die if he doesn't sleep. But more importantly, when I stop by here, I want to be able to sleep in a bed. And so I'm looking here. The single beds there, I think, are for the children, unless you add on a bedroom as an addition. But there we are. It went ahead and put the bed there. Now, I don't know why it put that bed there. I don't know if it took it from the entryway and put it there. I don't know. I didn't know it would do that. That's why I was looking on these different workbenches saying, okay, where's the bed? So obviously we have a few things. We're going to need some straw. Since I'm carrying all this stuff, it's kind of clear on what I'm short on. So iron ore is one. And I'm kind of looking here like, okay, what do I need? Deer hides. You know, there's lots of things that we're going to need. Deer hides and saber-tooth pelts and all this other thing. And so each section is going to have its, and it's really kind of confusing that if I hadn't had a bed, I would have, night-night, Balaman. If I hadn't had a bed, then I would have that would have had a bed making option on there. So I don't know. It's kind of confusing. You would have to go all the way around the corner to another room on the other side to build the bed for that part. So it's a little bit confusing, but that's okay. So we're going to take a look here. You see those doors right there on the right? That actually goes into the kitchen, and that's what we needed the locks for, and that's what we needed the conundrum oil and ingots for. And this is going to be our trophy room. Obviously there's no trophy stands yet, but if you take a look here under miscellaneous, yes, here's your trophy bases that you can have. And so I was thinking, okay, do I have plenty of each thing I would need to make these trophy bases? And it looked like I did. And so I'm going to go ahead and build these really quickly because I have everything, and I have sufficient amount of each thing: quarried stone, sawn logs, and clay. And you can see they're just popping in right behind me. So I have successfully created all of the trophy bases that I need for this trophy room. And that was thunder at my house. It's funny because it's outside. So there you can look at all the things you could put on a small trophy base. So it's like all kinds of things. So that's going to be fun, picking out what I want to have there. And then we go down to the cellar, and look what we have down here. There's mice in the cellar. It's so creepy. And here I'm looking at, okay, what are we going to put down here? These shrine, and these mice are attacking me. It's like, oh my goodness. Serena, take care of that, will you? So I do want to go ahead and put a couple things in. She's killing things while I'm just completely oblivious. So she kills a couple of these nasty looking mice, and she resurrects one, and it's like, oh, come on, Serena, really? That's so awful. Then I noticed we can have aquariums, and I think this is a new thing that might have been added when they did the anniversary edition. They upgraded the special edition. So I'm kind of excited about that. I don't know much about them. I just know you can have a fish tank and aquariums. So it's like, okay, this is kind of cool. We'll find out what we can do with them, because I honest to goodness don't know. It looks like they take a lot of glass, and I only had a couple pieces of glass on me. And that's something that we're going to have to either buy or figure out how to get, because we're going to need a lot. And so I didn't want to use up my, couple of nails is all I had left. And you can have fish plaques and all kinds of things that you can have. I've been collecting those elk antlers. We can have a mounted elk. And you can build a tanning rack. There's just all kinds of stuff. Here's our shrines that we could build. And we need some things for those. Eventually, I'm going to use my much loved Microsoft OneNote and make a list of things that I need to build these different mounted items and shrines, so that I'm on the lookout. And eventually, when I make a comprehensive list, when I get this narrowed down to like a manageable, I only need 20 more items, I will have a comprehensive list of things to look for as I'm on my journeys and say, oh, I need that, because I might not have picked it up otherwise. And you can see I built a couple shrines over there. I'll eventually have them all built. But I was really like, what are these? So you can activate the large fish tank. Large fish put here will be placed inside. Large fish will be placed inside the fish tank. So I don't know much about that. Like I said, that's a new thing to me, and so I just think it's kind of cool. And something new. I mean, apparently it adds on this whole new section that wasn't in the cellar before, so I'd never seen it before. These nasty mice. So as you can see, I've got the Shrine of Sendar, and I think I have a second one. I don't have the Shrine of Mara, which is the one, I think that's the one I'm currently using. And I'd have to look and see what each thing adds to me and which one would be the most benefit to me. I've always just done Shrine of Mara. So I was like, okay, I'm done down here. I think I'm out of just about all of the my building materials. As you can see, I'm running again. But I've used up enough building materials to get me down below my max weight. So these are the things that you could put on this small trophy base. It's like, yuck. I don't know what I want to have. I haven't made any decisions on that. I think I was just trying to decide what do I have here. What do I have, and what do I make the most use of? And eventually, once you get everything built in a particular area, then you can get rid of those working benches. But just taking a look at what's available in that area, assuming it's just in this room. But this is like an additional room, and this is the greenhouse, and we'll talk more about this later. And you can plant inside this greenhouse, and I've actually built it out completely before, and it's actually kind of cool to have. I know that there's a farm in the game and you can buy all that, and I may get into that at some point, but it's really nice to be able to plant. If you're going to be an alchemist at all, then this is really cool to have. Plus, when it's completely built out, it's really beautiful. This is going to be my kitchen. So you can see this is a nice big room here, and I just like this room as far as the decorations and just how it feels in this room. It's very homey. I just really like it. So of the 3 options available for this side of the house, I really like this. You notice when I built the fireplace, immediately you saw light on the back of Serena. So I just put in the fireplace in there. It's like a cooking thing. And so I never got into cooking in the game either. Balamon will. He'll cook something for you if you ask him. So anyway, just taking a look and see what do I have left. I've got a few nails left. And the dining room table and chairs is really cool, and it seats quite a few people in this large room, which is super for a family and whatever. So I'm building whatever I can. It's like I'm just about out of some of the building materials, and particularly iron ingots and ore. So I just should have looked around and showed you that table, but I'm kind of in a rush. Like, okay, what can I get rid of? We need to get on here. But again, I should have taken that Mara amulet downstairs, because before I did everything else, I had enough stuff to build the Mara thing. So what I'm doing is, we're not going to be doing a whole lot of building outside now. Most of the building that I'm going to be doing, or any of the things I'll be doing, will be inside. So building the furniture, building safes, building barrels and shelves and all the things. So I decided to put all of my building materials in here. And if I need something for outside, then I can grab it from here. But I decided to just put everything in here now. And you can see my weight is going down and down as I get rid of the things that I'm not going to be using. I can't remember what the moonstone ore is for. But anyway, I just kind of dump off what few building materials I still have, and to get ready for the next part of our journey. And my weight is going down and down. So now it's not so easy for me to sleep here. I've got to run upstairs. That's no big deal. That's the master bedroom on that side. If you're looking at the stairs, it's on the right hand side is where the master bedroom is. And so looks like we got a few things left, but we're definitely going to have to work on some ore, because we're going to need a lot more of it still. So we'll get it though. We just got to keep a close eye out, and we can also purchase it if we have to. We've got over 16,000 gold right now. I don't want to, and the only thing I'm using my gold for right now is building my house. So there is that table. You saw a quick glimpse out of it. I did notice the time of that it was actually almost 2 a.m. So I decided to go ahead and sleep, and just remember, you do get a buff up from Lover's, whatever it's called, Lover's Comfort or something. It gives you 15% increase in your skills for the next 8 hours. So I woke up and I thought, Balin, you should get busy. Got things to do. I thought, oh, me and Serena, we gotta go. We need to get the heck out of here. So I'm looking at where we need to go to get into this sanctuary to take out the rest of the Dark Brotherhood. And there's Serena getting her cool fire horse, skeletal fire horse. So we're not very far away from where we need to be. You can see the additions on the house made it a little bit closer to the rocks, but that's okay. No problem. And it's like, oh, I don't want to go over there. There was a chick down there. There's my extra logs. So you can see this is called Lakeview Manor. Oh, go away, wolves. It's called Lakeview Manor, and you have a view of this beautiful lake. And if I'm not mistaken, if you build some of the additions, like I think there's an enchanter's tower or something, you actually have a rooftop area where you can look out at the lake. It's really quite beautiful. So that's my home base. That's going to be where I keep anything important. As we go on and gold increases and we have nothing else to spend it on, we're probably going to buy a lot more houses in the game just to have homesteads in different locations. We already have a place to stay in Riften, Balaman's old house there. We can stay there when we're close by there. And so, you know, it's a expensive way of going about it. I mean, you could stay at inns and things, but I kind of like just having my own place, even though I'm not going to decorate it much, because pretty much everything that I would want to display or keep for indefinitely, it's going to go in the Lakeview Manor house. So that's my home base. It's kind of in the middle of the whole map, more or less. And to me, it just made sense, other than being in a beautiful location. So you can see we're right there, really close by where we're supposed to be, this sanctuary place. We're supposedly pointing right at it. And at the time I thought, I wonder if there's guards or something. I didn't know. And it says we discovered the area. I didn't want to walk down the side of the rocks there, and I thought there was a little path over here to the right. And I was correct. So I'm kind of watching my way in case there's any Dark Brotherhood bad guys out here. I also want to take a quick look, make sure there aren't any Nern roots. It's kind of nasty looking water though, isn't it? And here's this creepy looking door. Now, if you remember correctly, Commander Morrow gave us the answer to this question. And I was like, well, obviously it silenced my brother. I had not written it down, so I didn't remember for sure. And I thought, that was so stupid. I should have saved right before there. So we're going to have to wipe out this Dark Brotherhood people, whoever the heck they are. Can't believe they're good guys in any way, shape, or form. So I'm kind of taking it slow because we really don't know who or what they are. Oh, jeez. Picked up a plate. I hate it when I pick up things I don't intend, because then you have to get rid of it. You have to remember to get rid of it. It's like, okay, I wonder if that knife sticking in there is worth anything. 25 is like borderline, and really it's more like 40 and up for any books that you would want to read that might be skill books. What do you do? Okay, you take care of it. And there's another one of those unusual gems. And I would swear to you, I have seen this quest many times. I don't think I've ever completed it, and I don't know why. So doing a quick once around, you never know what you're going to find that you could use. Obviously nothing here. He's got a battle axe of chills worth a little bit. I don't think I want to give a battle axe to Serena. That wasn't one of the weapons I had in my mind that we should try. And by the way, where is she? She didn't come in here. And I didn't realize it. And I wonder it's because, look at these shrouded items are worth quite a bit. So we probably should take them. Probably should have taken them all. 9 gold in that one, so they're worth checking. And, oh, there's a book. And we increased our alteration to 23. Awesome. I'm just kind of taking a real close look here. And it does look like I'm on my own. But I think we probably can handle it. I don't think that it's going to be overwhelming. Playing on very easy has its advantages, and being able to take on an entire sanctuary of bad guys is one of those advantages. We still need to find a frost spell, and I need to remember to do that next time I'm in Riften. I keep forgetting. See, all these shrouded clothing articles they wear are really high value. Now I had a thought, maybe we should save since we're kind of on our own here. Kind of looking to make sure I don't run into all of them at once. That would kind of be not good. Average weapons. Those dummies there scared me at first. When I first saw them, I thought, oh my gosh. And you know me, I gotta jump in the water in case there's something cool. Didn't see anything cool. But had to try anyway. Oh, but look what I found. Ah! A word wall. Surprise! Word of Power is marked for death, and that's the second one in marked for death. So, oh, drain vitality? What? I think we got 2 words of power right there. So I'm gonna have to double check that. I didn't notice it before, but I think I got 2 words of power. Definitely got marked for death, and that one I was very excited about. Like, ooh, you're tough. You can't back up. I'm trying to back up, and I couldn't get myself to back up anymore. So that's okay. We got a few things here, nothing great. 28 gold healing potion, but here's these shrouded. Woo! Look at those. Wow. I keep looking at it and going, man, who are these Dark Brotherhood people? They seem to have a lot of magic. Luna Moth Wing, and I'm not sure. I should probably be, if I'm going to be doing alchemy, I should be collecting ingredients. But I hadn't decided. Look at that, a Nirnroot, free Nirnroot. Yes! With my Nirnroot obsession holdover from Oblivion. Yeah, can always check in the books, looking for high value ones. And paper. Absolutely useless paper. And I looked here and I thought, okay, what is this little area right here? And there's a dead person in there, was a person, with a hastily scribbled note. It's like, okay, what's that about? Collecting all these crazy notes. Apparently he was alive at some point and he was watching them. Very curious. It didn't give us a quest or anything. There he was. I guess part of him was laying up there. So at some point the poor guy died. Looked like he might have been grabbed by spiders and stuck on the wall. That's what I think anyway. So it wasn't a quest, but he was in here observing these Dark Brotherhoods. So then I thought, you know what? We should probably disenchant some of these items that I have because if I'm going to be doing enchanting, that's how you raise your enchanting, right? So I decided to go ahead and at least start working on a little bit. And I don't know much about enchanting. I know each item that you enchant, that destroys it, so I knew that. And then I realized I think that it could have enchanted things that I'm wearing. So I would have thought if you were wearing something, it wouldn't disenchant them. So you got to be careful, I guess. Otherwise, you're going to disenchant your important stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get out of here and finish my task, which is to kill these Dark Brotherhood people. And all you people that are Dark Brotherhood aficionados, you're going, no, don't kill so and so. So sorry, that was my mission. And so anyways, we're gonna keep the enchanting for later when I have a more controlled environment. So if I'm enchanting at my house, I can always put the things that I'm wearing away. I can put them in a chest or something, just so that I'm not accidentally disenchanting any item that I'm wearing. So I just decided, I gave it a try, and I understand how it worked, but we'll work on it more later, I think, just for fun. Who knows where we'll get with it or how far I'll get with it, but especially when you don't need gold as much, you don't need to sell the items as much that you find, the magical items or whatever. And so anyway, I'm checking around here. Found a nice little chest. Wonder what's in there. Didn't see anything. Oh, and it's locked. So locked is good. That could mean something, or it can mean nothing. And we got 13 gold out of the deal. Or 3 gold, I'm sorry. 3 gold was okay. And I think we didn't break any lockpicks, did we? Looks like we do have at least one more Dark Brotherhood guy that we need to take care of. I'm trying to be thorough in my searching. Oh, a piece of gold. Hey, it was worth opening the chest for that. Don't need any hats. It's too bad you can't unravel them to make leather or cloth or something that you could use. This looked interesting. I thought maybe it was a wall or something. I didn't see any levers that I could use to open that wall. But it's interesting. This is an interesting ruin or whatever it is. The sanctuary. It's just an interesting place. Interesting looking place. Plus it had that interesting word wall that I would swear to you gave me 2 words of power. I don't recall that happening before, ever. So I have to look at that again and see. It's like, okay, open this door, and there's the guy that we need to probably get rid of. And sometimes it's like, I don't know if I should try to talk to them first, or if they're going to attack me. And so apparently he was going to attack me. Thought maybe we could have a conversation, a decent conversation. Maybe we have something to talk about between one another. Okay, get rid of your ward. You're gonna run out of magic sooner or later, Festus. And so that's what I was doing, is waiting for his ward to wear. There he goes. Like, okay, his ward's gone. Get him. I'm on fire. That's not too good. Oh, I think for some reason he must have been stealing my magic. So that's okay. I got tons of healing and magic, not too many magic magicka potions. Then I realized he's dead. Doing flame spells. There's some more robes and things to sell. That's in the 700 one. Doing spells. I forgot where my train of thought. Oh, look at this. Potion of healing, a gold ring. We'll take that. And this window over here is fascinating. It's beautiful, but it looks like you should be able to go through it or something. And I tried to run through it, and I thought, well, maybe it's just, I think I've been in that room on the other side. I wasn't sure. It's beautiful, and I thought maybe I need to click something or whatever. And I didn't see any obvious thing about it. I guess it's just a plain, flat-out stained glass window. if you know more about that than I do, feel free to put it in the comments. I'll go back and check that place out. I've just always thought that was interesting. As far as like, should I be able to do something here? The answer was, I don't know. So I think all of them are dead now. So we should just be able to leave. I wanted to make sure that I had gotten everything out of here I needed to get. So just taking a look here and making sure I'm headed in the right direction to get the heck out of Dodge. Now that we're completely done. As far as I know, I mean, I don't know if I missed anything important. My quest log told me to report back, and we're going to go out the door anyway. And poor Serena, she must have been worried to death. Yep, she was standing right on the other side of the door. So I appreciate that she was waiting for me when she couldn't go in because she didn't have the password. That's interesting. So time to take a look here. And I think I don't know if I've marked it or not, but we've got a couple things that we need to do. And I don't remember making any conscious decisions. I know we've got some stuff that we need to sell. And that's Falkreath right there. Might as well get some selling going here. Don't need to carry things around. That's just like a general store, so hopefully they will buy a few things. I don't remember having a whole lot, but every little bit helps at this point.
Take a look.
Sitting on 16,000 gold. And so I decided to sell some of these because I had already disenchanted some of them, and I decided that it would make sense to sell a few of them and try to save the rest of them to be disenchanted. I'm not going to be doing, sneaking, muffling, thief type activity, so I didn't see the need to keep a lot of those when I could sell them for gold instead. Kind of wiped out this guy's still gold. So anyway, it put some more gold in our pocket, and that's kind of what we need in case we have to buy ingots or more wood or anything else. And then all of a sudden we get stopped by a guard asking us about a dog. So the blacksmith is offering an award for a dog he saw on the road. So, I mean, we come out and we didn't have, there was no other option. He stopped us and asked that question. First I was freaking out, oh no, do I have another bounty on my head? Like, how do you know when you do things and you don't even know they caused it? So anyway, Lod, it's like, he immediately asks you about the dog.
To chase him down, but I could use a fierce, loyal beast to keep me company.
And you tell him, he's giving you all the background about this dog. Says, I really want a good dog. And I saw him on the road, and we said, okay, we'll catch him for you. And he even says, okay, I'll give you some meat to lure the dog. He says he's just outside of town. And we say, sure, we'll get him for you. And so now we have a quest in our log called Find the Dog.
Looking to protect yourself?
And so we were double checking to see if he'll buy anything. He's got 1,100 gold, so that's quite a bit. And I kept one of them because of it was destruction spells are stronger. I thought that might make a good enchantment. So again, it's the beginning of me thinking about it. I'll never use a bow, so I didn't see any reason to keep that one. And so, I don't know. I don't know what, because I've never really done enchanting, I wasn't sure what to get rid of, what to keep, and what would disenchant. I was pretty sure, it seemed like to me that I can disenchant those robes and things, but I'm not 100% sure. If I can't, then obviously I'm going to sell them next time I come somewhere that I can sell them. But I wanted to keep them just in case. And here I started to go in, but I wanted to see, what do I have? That I have a moth wing. I mean, I don't really have anything that apothecary would buy anyway. So I didn't see the need to go into that store. And I was checking here to say, what other stores do they have here? It's also looking at the map. Trying to figure my way out. Way out of town. I'm going to double check to make sure my horse is not following me. I do not want my horse to follow me. I want it to stay put wherever I get off of it at. That's for safety reasons. I have method to my madness. I want my horse to cooperate with my madness. So let's give that horse a call. Let's go. So, as you may or may not have noticed, if you've watched any of my other episodes, I do not fast travel. I know, I'm sorry for those of you who have watched 20 episodes so far, you've heard me say this many times. I never know when someone's going to pick it up mid-series. So I just want to mention, I am not a fast traveler. I only fast travel if there's a problem. And so it takes me a long time to get from one place to the other, and I don't care. Obviously, this is called a retired slow play. And that's what it is. I'm not in a rush. The only goal I have is to maybe finish the game before the Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. And those who are Bethesda people know that there is no date given for the Elder Scrolls 6. So at this point I realized I had not marked where I was doing, and what I was doing was going to go see Isran to give a report about the Moth Priest, I think it was. I don't remember why we were going there. Regardless, that's where we're headed. I want to make sure that I marked, put that on my compass so I can keep an eye of where I knew where I was heading, but I realized I had not marked it correctly. So I'll try not to do that too much. Once again, we're coming up to Helgen, and it's taking us through the town of Helgen instead of around it. Very frustrating. But I'm getting it down in my head. Hop off my horse, run through this broken down building. I'm like looking for her, make sure she's with me. Running around the other side, going through the door on the other side of the wall, taking a left, and taking a right. And then taking another left, going back past this building that we went through in the very beginning of the game. Take a right here. Go through this building right here. Take another right. Come out the other side, and there's the door. So it's like, okay, it's still a shortcut. It's still faster than going all the way through the mountain, but it's very annoying because I don't remember us having to do that. Maybe it's the direction I'm coming from. I'm not sure. It still bugs the heck out of me, though. Maybe someday I'll figure it out. Maybe someday I won't. I don't know. I just know the way. I killed the thieves bandits or whatever, I think it was bandits, that had taken up residence there. So the past couple times I've come through here, they're not there, so that's a good thing. Because I would be really annoyed if every time I come through here I had to kill a bunch of bandits. So making sure, just double checking, making sure we're headed in the right direction, which is we go to Riften direction, and then Fort Dawnguard is to the southeast of Riften. Yeah, it looks like a little bit of snow coming down here. A little chilly through here. If you're playing survival mode, I don't know if this area would be considered cold and you would have damaged stats because of it. I don't know. I probably should load up the survival mode on a different game of mine, a different save, and just check it out to see if it would be something interesting to add. I like some of the things. I like it that you have to eat. I like it that you have to sleep. I don't like it that when you're cold, you can't get warm unless you are by a fire. I don't know if you could just light one in the middle of nowhere, or you have to go inside. And that's not always, like here, this isn't a feasible thing. I can't get in here. So I'm curious, any of you that have played survival mode, your input on that. Please make comments below because it helps me. It's going to help me with this game and help me play better or differently. So I really appreciate your input. I need your input. So if you've played survival mode, I would like to know what you think. I've watched only a couple of streamers that have mentioned it right around the time it came out, which is almost not quite a year ago, and they just gave the overview of it. Nobody's showed me any extensive play using survival mode, and I don't know if you can turn it off and on, and I don't know if there's options to turn parts of it off and on. So I'll have to look into it a little bit more, and if you have input that you can give me, I would really appreciate it. Goodbye, Mr. Elk. I don't know if I need any elk antlers. Hope not. You use those to mount on your walls, which is kind of creepy, but there aren't any other wall decorations. You know, Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, and especially you don't have customizable decorations unless you do. I assume you could do mods and do your own thing, but you don't, you have to, there's only certain things that can go on that wall, and you have to build it, or your house, when you buy a house and buy the kitchen or whatever, it puts them on there automatically. So I've played other, obviously, massive house building games. Obviously The Sims, that's the whole part of Sims, is building your own houses, which I was never very good at. Another game that I build houses in extensively was Ultima Online, and it's super customizable. Every single wall, every single window, every single door, fences, waterfalls, and you could put just about anything anywhere. And it was probably, as far as house building, I'm trying to think if The Sims was more extensive than that. Not much. I mean, I've never seen a house building system quite like that. And I love that part of Ultima Online. There's lots of things I hated about it, and after 20 years I got rid of my account. But the house building was pretty epic. The gardening system I loved. There was just a lot of things about that I loved. So house building is important to me. In a game like this, you could take it or leave it. You wouldn't necessarily have to have a house in this game at all. You know, if you just want to keep carrying stuff in your backpacks, in your horse's pack, in your followers pack, you could get by just fine without it if that's not your thing. But obviously to me, as you've seen and heard me talk about many times, it's a huge part to me. So when I'm walking along here or riding my horse along here, I know that I got a homestead back there at the Lakeview Manor, and right now my husband's there, and he's running a business, taking care of the place. Eventually we're going to get a steward, a house Carl, and some children, and a few other things that make it feel even more homey, just because it feels like home base, and I like that. So that's why I bother so much. Plus it looks really cool, and it's a neat part of the game. I find it interesting the different parts of the game that people play are so different than what other people play. So hopefully you're watching this video to see something different. something that you might not have played before. People, get out of the way. And you're heading towards Riften, so I don't think you're going to make it to Solitude going this way. So, along the beautiful river there. I just love the water in Skyrim. I know it's not perfect, and it's probably not nearly as good as some games that came out, you know, just in the past couple of years, but I still think it's very beautiful. It's like, what the heck is after me? And would Serena please take care of her? Yeah. 2 wolves.
That'll teach you.
She's got it. I'm out of here. Guess that's a good reason to make sure she has a sword. So she can fight while she's on her horse. I don't like fighting while mounted on my horse. When I was originally you have the convenient horses. Part of it tutorial thing is you train your horse, or you teach yourself basically that it's a tutorial on how to fight while you're mounted. And I think one of the things you can do is tell the horse, I don't want to fight while mounted, and that quest goes away. It's just something I just don't want to do. It's I don't know, it's very hard to do, and I don't like carrying a sword. So if I gotta fight, I hop off my horse. End of story. So we're headed down to the Dayspring Canyon, I think it's called, and it's marked. You can see my map marker. There's a pointer, and if you haven't watched any other episodes, you can tell you're there because there's a white tree stump right by the entrance to the Dayspring, and makes it easy to see. Didn't know that the first few times I came down here and bypassed it and got lost and all kinds of fun and games. But you can see that one right ahead on the left. That's the marker for the Daysprings, whatever it is. And I can't remember from time to time the name of it. It's like, did I check this ash pile? Why is it still here? And it wouldn't let me click it. Usually when you kill something and you empty it out, whatever they have on them, it goes away. It's like, I'm sorry, Sabrina, I wasn't trying to do that. Like, okay, Dayspring Canyon. Okay, I was right. Dayspring Canyon. So anyway, here's our canyon, and it's really, this part is not too pretty. Another ash pile. These are vampires that had attacked us, and we had killed them. And so there are piles of ash laying around. And said before, this part isn't pretty, but when you turn that corner, it's like, wow, it's so beautiful. One of the few cold-looking places that I think is really cool. Just cool looking. And again, when I can, I sprint with my horse or sprint with myself to save you and myself time. Because I don't fast travel, but here you can't really fast travel, I don't think. Never tried and don't care. I don't fast travel, so we will run up here if we can get this daggone thing out of the way. As you can see, they've really fortified this place quite a bit more, putting up walls and even a closed gate that we opened last time we were here, and unfortunately it stays open. It's like, that's not safe. Because they had been attacked by vampires, so they fortified it quite a bit to make sure that they keep an eye out for the vampires. The guy's putting his sword back on. I don't know if he killed something. Every time I come by there, it seems like that's what he's doing. So, and there's even more fortification up here, and that's a good thing. I mean, vampires are, except for Serena, can be pretty ruthless and deadly. So the Moth Priest was sent here. Let's see if he's here. And there's the Moth Priest. So he has arrived.
I'm impressed you could find a Moth Priest so quickly.
Well, of course I did. I'm trying to help, Isran. I don't like vampires anymore, and you do.
For the reading? Yeah.
Just let the old man. that's, he's not really the most politically correct person. He called Serena it, and he refers to this Moth Priest as an old man. I mean, that's kind of rude.
Ah, my rescuer. It's good to see you again. It's not exactly the hospitality I'm used to, but your man...
Yeah, Isran, he's not going to do turn down service on your bed. He's going to say, hey, here we are. Take what you need. Use what you need.
Back home that would love to study this place in detail. Oh, most certainly.
And it's time for him to read the Elder Scroll.
Now, if everyone will please be quiet, I must concentrate. I see a vision before me, an image of a great bow. I know
So he
this
says there
weapon. It
is
Oriel's bow.
a weapon called Ariel's
Now a
bow.
voice whispers, saying,
There's going to be a dead lord that's going to rise.
a dread lord will rise in an age of strife, when dragons
Dangers
return to the realm
return.
of men. Darkness will mingle with light.
Oh, night and day will be one. That's what Serena had talked about. Her father was trying to control
The voice
the
fades and the words
night,
begin
so
to
it was always
shimmer
night.
and distort. But wait,
But wait,
more here.
there's more.
the secret of the bow's power.
The secret of the bow's power is written elsewhere.
I
I think there is more to the prophecy recorded in other scrolls. So
Yes, I see them now.
there
One
is
contains the ancient
secrets of the
dragons,
dragon
and the
and
other speaks
ancient
of the
blood.
prophecy of
One
ancient
contains the
blood.
ancient secrets of the dragon.
My vision darkens,
Okay,
and I see no more.
so
To know the
apparently
complete prophecy,
we have 2 more scrolls
must
that
have
we
the
need
other
to
two
find.
Scrolls. I must rest now.
And poor Dexion, he's exhausted from his efforts. Come on, old man. Isran! How rude. And so we're going to ask him, even though he's exhausted, we can ask him a few questions. I mean, we're trying to save the world
The
too.
other two scrolls,
And he says,
picture will remain incomplete. I admit,
it told us to speak to Serena. So we need to find a dragon elder scroll and a blood elder scroll. Serena, get out of the way. And a blood. So there's 3. So now we need to find 3 more elder scrolls. That's part of the Dawnguard quest line.
I wish I could help. The scrolls have changed hands so many times. It's
So
impossible.
really, he's not going to be much help at this point. He just knows that's what we need. Yeah, we can no longer get to the Imperial City. We did in Oblivion, but
The Elder Scrolls vanished from
oh,
the
he
Imperial
says,
City
well,
around
the
175
scrolling vanished from the
and
Imperial
been
City
scattered across Tamriel by forces unknown.
and have been scattered.
If you want to find the remaining scroll, you'll have to consult with someone versed in magic.
And he says we could check someone with the College of Winterhold may have some information about it.
Not as much as I would like. Even after
He doesn't have a
spending
ton of
decades
information.
my life in study of the Elder
But
Scrolls,
he can read one
there
if we
remain
find
mysteries.
one, so that's a good thing because we need
It's
that
true
for
most
this
of my brothers in the order as
dragon
well.
issue.
We don't really know where the scrolls came from or who wrote them. What we do know is that some are born with a special gift to read.
Yes,
the
he's
Elder
born with the
Scrolls.
gift of being able to
These
read the
chosen
Elder
few
Scroll.
can divine events of the past and future
And it
within
makes
the
them blind
scrolls.
eventually, so
Though in
it's really,
time,
it's like
it
a
rises to
gift
I'm
that turns out to
afraid
be
there's
a
not
really
much
not a
more
very
to
good
tell.
gift.
Even today, the Elder Scrolls remain a great enigma. It is our sacred duty to study the Elder Scrolls.
So that's
We
kind of a
read these
sad
ancient scrolls
life,
of
isn't it? I mean,
prophecy
their
in
whole
order to
life is
divine the future.
designed around reading Elder
And we
Scrolls, and
use
then
that
they go
knowledge
blind,
to
and then they
pave
can't
the
read
way.
anything anymore.
Sometimes we venture out into the world in search of more scrolls for our library at the White Gold Tower. That is the very purpose that first brought me to Skyrim.
White Gold
It is the
Tower,
great
he's mentioned this a
spire at the
couple of
heart the
times.
Imperial City.
Oh, okay.
Among the
That's that
tallest
great
towers
spire in the heart
all
of
Canada.
Imperial City,
The lower
and if you
floors
played
are home to the
Oblivion,
Imperial
you've seen
Council,
it.
and the Order of Moth Priests occupies the middle floors. The tower
Very
suffered
interesting.
damage in the recent war with the Aldmeri Dominion, and is not what it once was. I
Oh,
hope
see,
one
this,
day to see it
it's so
restored to
sad.
its former glory.
Imperial City was so majestic the first time you see it. And Serena said, hey, I need to talk to you. Yeah, just in case. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Better
Do you
save
have a
there.
moment to talk?
Of course I do.
That Moth Priest, Dexian. He said we needed 2 other Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
I know where we can
Cough it
start.
up.
Half the people in your little crew would just as soon kill me as talk to me.
She has a very good point.
You want to open up. I got a warmer welcome from my father. and that's
Yeah,
saying
it is. Isran calling you it.
Ever since he decided to make that prophecy his calling, we kind of drifted apart. I don't even think he sees me as his daughter anymore. I'm just...
I think you're right. I think he used you as a pawn.
We need to find my mother, Valerica.
Aha.
She'll definitely know where it is. And if we're
Mother will
lucky,
know
she
where
actually has
it
it
is.
herself. The last time I saw her, she said that she'd go somewhere safe. Somewhere that my father would never search. Other than that, she wouldn't tell me anything. But the way she said it, someplace he would never search. It was cryptic, yet she called attention to it.
Yeah, so, I don't think she
What
was
I can't
being
figure out is why she
rude.
said it that way.
She was trying, I think he was
Besides,
trying to tell her
I
where
can't
she was
imagine
at
sitting
without
in a place
actually
my
telling
father
her
would
where she
avoid
was
looking.
at.
And he's had all this time, too. Any ideas?
Well, if I'm gonna hide, I'd hide in plain sight.
Wait, that almost makes sense. There's a courtyard in the castle. I used to help her tend a garden there. All of the ingredients for our potions came from there. She used to
Aha.
say that my father couldn't
Garden.
stand the place.
My
Too
father couldn't stand the
peaceful.
place. Too peaceful.
Oh,
So
absolutely. But my mother's
that
from
makes
town.
perfectly good sense as a
It's-
place to look
I
for
don't
her
think
mother,
we'll actually trip over her there, but it's worth
who
a
might
look.
actually have an Elder Scroll.
Well, but I know a way we can get to the courtyard without arousing
And Serena knows
suspicion.
a
There's an
back
unused
way in.
inlet on the northern side of the island that was used by the previous
To the
owners to move
castle.
supplies into the castle.
Where
I know
the
escape
nasty,
tunnel from the
Mino
castle exits there. I think that's our
mega
way in.
vampire guy lives.
It's
So we
around the
tell
side
her,
of the castle.
let's go there.
Let's move.
So our quest log is has updated. So we've got a few more things to do. Okay, Winterhold is going to be our for one of them, and the Vampire Castle is going to be another one. So we've got a lot of things to do in the north here on our log. So we'll have to save and then think about this and figure out where we're going to go, because I really want to make sure that I'm not tramping all over the world. And this makes a good place for us to take a break. And I appreciate you following me along on this journey. I do appreciate it. Please consider subscribing to my channel, because that will help me continue on with what I'm doing. And most importantly, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.